Alafia, everybody. This is Baba Obanjoko coming to you from the Divine Temple of Truth, your true spiritual revolution, evolutionary. Today, we're going to discuss a topic that is a very, very special topic. Spirituality before religion. Spirituality before religion. You know, this is a topic that people talk about quite often, but it's something that we don't really discuss in depth. Today we're going to talk about what is spirituality and what is religion. Okay? I thought we would start off by first, as we always do, giving reverence to the undetermined force within the universe. In the Yoruba pantheon, we call that Ishu. So we key Ishu to open the road. We key Ishu to open the way. We key Ishu for knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. We key Ishu. May the spirit of our ancestors continue to guide, lead, and teach us, for it is for our growth and strength that they are truly most concerned. So let's jump right into it. Let's talk about the topic again for today is spirituality versus religion. When we speak of religion, let's break it down to its root word. Religion means to relink, means to relink. Relink to what? We're relinking to the truth of nature. It is a man-made, no matter what religion it might be, including traditional religions. All religions are an attempt by people to relink to the balance and harmony of nature. Let me say that again. No matter what religion you may be referring to, no matter what religion we're talking about, it is an attempt by people to relink to the truth and the balance of nature. So we create our own philosophy, usually based upon some connection with cosmological truth to develop a story or an allegory of what the Creator has said, or what spirituality is trying to convey. It's our way of relating to or relinking to the truth. It tends to be, religion tends to be problematic from the standpoint of most religions, as John Henry Clarke said, are handmaidens of conquerors. People use religion in many cases to control other people. People use religion in most cases to control other people, when in actuality, the purpose of religion should be connection with source. Therein we segue now to spirituality. Remember, we are discussing here spirituality versus religion, or spirituality before religion. Ashe? Spirituality. What is spirituality? What is spirituality? Spirituality can be defined as our attempt to connect with and identify with nature and source. When I say source, I'm talking about all. Our ancestors, from the very beginning, had one objective in mind. It wasn't a creation of a figure of God. Our ancestors, from the very beginning, sought to survive. Let me say that again. Our ancestors, from the very beginning of time, sought to survive. And how did they seek to survive? Just as anything else in life seeks to survive. And that is by, to the best of its ability, it comes into harmony and balance with self and nature. It comes into harmony and balance with self and nature. The cosmos, the heavens, the earth, the individual. Again, remember that the major objective of spirituality was to balance was to, and is to, a balance ourself with nature for the purpose of continued survival. And that's what our ancestors did. And that too is what we must focus on. So while I'm not throwing, please don't think that I'm throwing here all religions under the bus. I'm not doing that. What I am saying is that we tend to get too much engulfed into religiosity as opposed to understanding and coming into balance with ourselves and nature. That is what I'm saying. We must take time. How did our ancestors do this? I'm speaking on spirituality now. How did our ancestors do this? How did our ancestors learn to survive? How did our ancestors build pyramids? How did our ancestors learn how to be civilized from the standpoint of I am, we are because I am, and come together to build the cornerstone of all civilizations in the world? How are we able to do that? And we seem to have lost that understanding at this time because they didn't practice religion before spirituality. Spirituality was the foundation of any religious thought, belief, pantheon, or structure. This is where your 42 laws of negative confession came from, the law of Ma'at, the laws of Ma'at. It came from our ancestors understanding and looking at, observing, and understanding nature, and then moving forward to live their lives in harmony and balance to the best of their ability with nature. The rattlesnake doesn't have to be told how to be a rattlesnake. A elephant doesn't have to be told how to find his burial ground when it's time for his transition. Yet we stand confused with things such as how do we get along today due to color of skin. I submit to you that this is due to putting religion before spirituality. Remember this. And this is key, and I want you all to do some research on this and to think about what I'm getting ready to say here now. I'm going to give you all the Holy Grail today. Ashe, I'm going to give you the Holy Grail. The Holy Grail is from no thing, something appeared. From no thing at all, nothing, out of nothing. Not physical, not mental, not spiritual. From no thing. This is why our ancestors never had concept of God as we look at it today. They understood, the great ancestors understood that out of no thing, singularity appeared. And singularity meaning all that is known or knowable came into existence. They didn't spend their time trying to ponder on nothing. They didn't spend their time trying to ponder on nothing. They spent their time looking at something. Singularity. Divided. And from the division of singularity became duality. The law of correspondence was then born. The law of correspondence was then born, which gave birth to existence. For example, you'll hear people say, the old folks will say, there's always another side to the story. There's always another side to the story. And that's the truth. That's the truth. There's always another side to the story because duality is the foundation of existence. Nothing exists without a yin and a yang. So when it comes from the unknown into existence, it is born into what we call reality or physical form by duality, through duality. From the darkness, what I'm saying here now, put it clearly, from the darkness comes the light. Ashe? From the darkness comes the light. And from that light and darkness, duality. Excuse me, origine. That means I stand corrected. From that darkness and light, duality comes, which gives us the cardinal points of existence, which most people call the directions. The true term is the cardinal points of the universe. So above, so too below. From the east to the west. From the north to the south. Ashe? 4, remember this, is the number of manifestation. Is the number of manifestation. Let's look at it in this way. 4 is the division of most things in existence. Animal has 4 legs. You have 4 seasons. There's 4 days actually to a year. I say there's 4 actually there's 4 equal parts of the day. I say 4, the quarters of 4 is the number of manifestation itself. Why am I going into this now? I'm stressing the point of spirituality and understanding the basis of spirituality before undertaking any type of religion. Focus first, my brothers and sisters, on understanding and growing into an understanding of spirituality. Ashe? Focus first on growing into an understanding of spirituality, and then move forward to understand the knowledge and the information that our ancestors have left based upon their experiences in relinking to that understanding of spirituality, which we call religion. In the name of Olodumare, in the name of Ifá, and all of the ancestors in Orisha that sit by the feet of Olodumare, I give thanks for this time. I give thanks for this day of spending the time that we've spent together. Ashe. Ashe.
Ashe. Ashe.
Ashe.
I've left a few minutes for those who have any questions or have any observations that they would like to share.
Well, I'll just say that I love this teaching today, and it resonates. It's the universalist type spiritual approach to this and your mindset. It's something that I very much appreciate about you. And that in going down this path, I've encountered some that it's, and not putting anyone down, but it's a religious thing for them. It's in that it's the one true thing, like type of kind of with casting. Everything you're saying, your approach, Baba, is more open-minded and able to see the commonality or the correspondences, as you say, between different paths and ancestors of different lineages and different cultures around the world. I hear things that you say that correspond so much to what I've studied and other things, like in Kabbalistic texts and the tree of life, and the singularity springs from no thing, not the absence of things, no thing, but literally no thing. There's Ein, Ein Sof, and Ein Sof are the 3 levels of the negative, the Keter, the light, originally singularity springs from, and everything like this. And anyway, and then of course, you can go through everything, Hinduism, Buddhism, all these things, and there's, you see these things all around the world, the same. Anyway, this has been great. I appreciate it. Ashe.
Modupwe, Baba. Modupwe. Is there anyone else who has any comment, questions, or observations that they would like to express at this time?
I go, Baba.
I may.
Abarubaye. Shay, how are you?
Abotishe,
This is
Aboto,
cool.
Ashe,
This is Najla. Ayak cool. Just wanted to
Ashe,
say, Sure. I really liked how you explained the Holy Grail. Amazing. I really, really enjoyed that. Thank you.
Ashe. Odupoy, thank you so much, Mrs. Anyone else? The line it's open. How much time do we have left?
We have 5 minutes left.
Ashe, 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 Ashe. Did anybody else have any comments or any observations? Okay. Any comments or any observations that anyone has at this time?
No, everything is good, Baba.
All right, man. You know, I appreciate that. There, tutu suru.
I say.
Tutu suru.
I go, Bubba.
Out of that triple darkness, Baba. Out of that triple darkness.
I go, Bubba.
There he is, Kolade. I say. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. I was having some trouble getting on, but glad that I was able to get on. But I do like what you was talking about the, the 4 is the number of the manifestation, because I never really actually thought about that, but it makes so much sense. And I appreciate that. You just have my gratitude. I'm really appreciative of it. And I'm loving the growth.
I say, Baba. I say. Let us be focused and see, we get twisted when we start to focus on what people said. Like, for example, and I've got a few more minutes. I'm gonna say this is very important in terms of divination. This is a very good example to bring up. In terms of divination, we will divine, and then when we divine, we get a pattern, which is solid. That's good. We get a pattern. And that pattern comes based upon that same cosmology. It comes into existence. Everything comes into existence from no thing to singularity, from singularity to it breaks into duality. This is how a baby is born. And then from duality, it falls into the cardinal points, because the duality has duality. So when we start to focus on spirituality, we can develop our own rituals, rites, and procedures. Some people say, well, no, I can just do it. Some people are self-proclaimed spiritualists, and they'll say, well, yes, and I feel like this, and I've got this. Yeah, I don't deny that. But understand that the universe works in order. That's the only issue that I have with some self-proclaimed spiritualist. There is an order. There is an order. And we need to understand and grow into the knowledge of that order. Then you can freelance. But there's a way that God has created things. From no thing, something appeared, singularity. That includes everything that we know or ever will know. And from that, then it manifests into something, what we call physical reality, what we call physical reality. And then from the physical or the laws of correspondence. And then from the laws of correspondence, we get the 4 legs that we can walk with. You understand?
Ashe.
So there's a way that the universe creates. And we must understand that methodology of how the universe creates so that we can use our spirituality for evolutionary purposes. You notice I said evolutionary, not revolutionary. I said for evolutionary purposes.
Yep.
I'm not trying to revolt against anything or anybody. I'm not revolting. Let us evolve. Ashe?
Shay.
How many
60 seconds.
parents do you have? Okay. How many parents do you have? 2. How many grandparents do you have? 4. How many great-grandparents do you have? 8. How many great-great-grandparents do you have? 16. Further 32. Okay. And it continues to go up until you get to 256 and then beyond. But 256 is key because that is the number of the ultimate Odu Ifá. Boboy re gungun baba e gungun yeye.
Ashe.
It is in our DNA. Truth and excellence is in our DNA. I thank you very much for your time.